Good morning, students. And today I am going to teach 10th class state and CBSE Pythagoras theoretical problems. Numerical problems already we have done in lower classes like 8th and 9th classes. So in 10th standard we are learning about Pythagoras theorems. This is for only state and CBSE. ICSE students they don't have this chapter. They don't have this Pythagoras theoretical problem. So if they want they can listen, otherwise they can ignore it. But this is mainly useful for 10th state as well as CBSE. So we were learning Pythagoras theorem from 6th class onwards or else from 7th class onwards. Just we are learning like a parrot, like a square on the hypotenuse is equal to sum of the squares on the other two sides, right? But actually what is the meaning of that? Can anyone tell what is the meaning of Pythagoras theorem? There are so many inventions behind this. Some people will say this Pythagoras theorem was invented from Greek onwards, and some people say that this was invented in India itself. So we don't bother about those things, just we will concentrate on problems itself. So please try to ignore that one. So whoever invented, that is better for ourselves only, but let us concentrate on theoretical problem. So that is Pythagoras theorem. So what I am saying is, you are learning from 6th class onwards, square on the hypotenuse is equal to sum of squares on the other two sides. What is the meaning of that? Anyone can anyone explain what is the meaning of that? Have you ever thought what is the meaning of this square on the hypotenuse is equal to in a right angle triangle? In a right angle triangle, square on the hypotenuse is equal to sum of the squares on the other two sides. Have you ever thought about it? What is the meaning of this behind this? Nothing simple. Let me explain. I will explain in detail. So here, you know right angle triangle means one angle is 90 degrees, right? And the longest side in a right angle triangle is nothing but hypotenuse, right? In a right angle triangle, the longest side in a right angle triangle is nothing but hypotenuse. So this is hypotenuse. The other two sides will be this one. The longest side in a right angle triangle is simply hypotenuse, or else some teachers or some lecturers will say the side opposite to the right angle. Which is the side opposite to the right angle? This side. So PQR. The side opposite to the right angle is nothing but hypotenuse, or else what is the other word of saying hypotenuse? The longest side in a right angle triangle is the hypotenuse. So let us see this. You can see this picture, right? Square on the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse we have discussed. This is a right angle triangle. Angle is making 90 degrees. This is right angle triangle, right? So in a right angle triangle, PQR, right? PQR. In a right angle triangle, square on the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse, what is the meaning of this? We have discussed. Square on the hypotenuse. PQ square, QR square. QR square is equal to square on the hypotenuse is equal to sum of the squares of the other two sides. Listen to the words what I am saying. Square on the hypotenuse, square on the hypotenuse. See here, this is the picture. Square on the hypotenuse is equal to sum of the squares on the other two. Sum of the squares. Sum means addition. Sum of the squares on the other two sides. Which are the other two sides? If this is the one side I am taking, the other two sides will be this one. PR square. See, look at the word I am using. PR square plus PQ square. PQ square, I am using the word square. Now this is the condition. The right angle triangle, square on the hypotenuse is equal to sum of the squares on the other two sides. What is the meaning of this? Take a graph sheet. So if you have time, take a graph sheet and draw a right angle triangle in a graph sheet and draw a square. Draw squares along the hypotenuse, along the other two sides. What do you notice is, are you following what I am saying? Take a graph sheet, draw a right angle triangle, draw squares along the sides. Along the sides means you draw a squares. Take a pencil and draw the squares. What do you observe is, Just I am taking 5 centimeter. Here I am taking it as 5 centimeter. Here this is nothing but 3 and here it is 4 centimeters. 5, 3, 4. What I noticed is these small squares here, what you are saying, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there are total 25 squares are there here. These 25 squares is nothing but these two, addition of these two squares. That means this you can see here, there are total 9 squares here. Here there are total 16 squares, right? Here the total 9 and here the total is 16. 16 plus 9 is 25. So 25 square, here 25 small boxes are there. 25 is equal to here 9 plus 16. So 25 is equal to 25. That is the meaning of the Pythagoras theorem. So square on the hypotenuse is equal to sum of the squares on the other two sides, right? Sum of squares means small boxes which you are counting. Here 25 small boxes are there. 25 squares is equal to this small squares which you count here, you will get 25. So that is the meaning. Square of the, in a right angle triangle, square on the hypotenuse is equal to sum of the squares on the other two sides. That is the meaning of Pythagoras theorem. So already I told what is meant by hypotenuse and what is meant by right angle. The other two sides, you know, once when you find the hypotenuse, the other two sides are this one, PR and QR, and this is the hypotenuse. So still if you have any doubts, you can always comment and you can always approach through comment section. Now let us do some problems, right? So theoretical problem, once again these are theoretical problems. It is there for mainly state and CBSE. It is not there for ICSE syllabus. ICSE students, if you want you can listen, otherwise you can simply ignore it, but it is mainly helpful for, it is there for mainly state and CBSE. So let us do some problems directly. Now I explained what is the meaning of Pythagoras, but problems will be little bit tough. Pythagoras theorem problems, by looking at the question, the problem seems to be easy. Oh, this much, but when you do the problems, it is very tough. Tough in the sense, all addition, subtraction, multiplication, division will come here. So if you know those things, you can easily do. And one basics, again here you require two things, that is a plus b whole square, a minus b whole square you should know, and that's all. Median also you should know. Median, what is meant by median, that also I am going to explain. Now let us do some problems. So theoretical problem, 10th state and CBSE, Pythagoras theorem, right? The very first we will start from easy to tough questions. So directly if we start tough problems, you will not understand. So I will go from easy to tough problems. ABCD is a rhombus. ABCD is a rhombus. So we will go from easy to tough. Already I said ABCD is a rhombus. Prove that AB square plus BC square plus CD square plus DA square is equal to AC square plus BD square. ABCD is a rhombus. ABCD is a rhombus. Rhombus means, you know, all sides are equal. Since you are in 10th class, I did not explain what is meant by rhombus, what are its properties. In a rhombus, ABCD is a rhombus. Prove that AC square plus BD square is equal to what? AC square plus BD square is equal to, go from here, AB square plus BC square plus CD square plus DA square or AD square. DA square or AD square, both are same. So how to do this one? So in a rhombus, diagonals are perpendicular to each other. Please write down the step. So this is what we have to prove. AC square plus BD square is equal to square of the sum of the squares of the diagonals is equal to this one, squares on each side. So squares on the diagonal, sum of the squares on the diagonal, sum of the squares of the diagonal means AC square plus BD square is equal to AB square plus is equal to sum of squares of the sides of the rhombus. Right? How will you do this one? I don't know just now. In a rhombus, diagonals are perpendicular to each other. Perpendicular to each other means here let the diagonals AC and BD meet at O. Simply write down, in a rhombus diagonals are perpendicular to each other, that is AC and BD meet at O, right? So take this one. Here OBA, right? So this is 90 degrees. So just now we learned now square on the hypotenuse is equal to AB square is equal to AO square plus OB square, right? Next, AB square is equal to AO. AO is nothing but what? AO is nothing but half of this one. This one diagonals bisect each other. In a rhombus, diagonals bisect each other. So AO is nothing but half of AC plus OB square. OB square, again OB is nothing but what? OB. Diagonals bisect each other in a rhombus. Please write down the steps. I am not writing. OB square is equal to half of BD square. Why? In a rhombus, diagonals bisect each other and diagonals are perpendicular to each other. That means this length is equal to this length is equal to this length, right? So that's what I have written. AO square, AO is nothing but half of AC. OB is nothing but half of BD, right? So this is nothing but AB square is equal to 1/4 1/4 AC square plus 1/4 BD square. Please write down the steps by yourself. It is not possible for me to write each and everything. Just I am explaining. In a rhombus, diagonals are perpendicular to each other and diagonals bisect each other. Here we should write, since diagonals bisect each other. So both denominators are same. So AB square is equal to AC square plus BD square by 1/4. You can take LCM. Next, 4AB square is equal to AC square plus BD square. Right? So AC square plus BD square. Already we are near to the problem. 4 AB square. AB square 4 times AB square. That means 4 times you write down. AB square plus AB square plus AB square plus AB square is equal to AC square plus BD square. So AB 4 times, no? But in a rhombus all sides are equal. Do you agree with me? In a rhombus all sides are equal. So AB is nothing but, let AB as this. AB in a rhombus all sides are equal. That is equal to BC plus CD plus DA is equal to AC square plus BD square, right? 4 times AB square is there. So I am writing AB 4 times. But AB, all sides are equal in rhombus. Suppose if this is 5, all are 5. So AB is nothing but AC, BC, like that, CD, DA. There ends the solution. Very simple question. So I told now I will be doing from easy to tough. This is one of the problem. Next one. Are you understanding what I am saying? It's very simple. In a rhombus is there and some conditions. Only 2 things you should remember in this. What is that? Is already Pythagoras theorem you need to apply, and therefore diagonals bisect each other and diagonals are perpendicular to each other. If you know those 2 things, then the problem becomes easy. So Pythagoras theoretical problems. Let me make you clear. We are doing theoretical problems. 10th CBSE and state. Another question. This is very simple question. ABC is an isosceles right triangle at C. ABC is an isosceles right triangle. Triangle is there and also isosceles right triangle. Right angle at C. So the other 2 sides become this one. ABC is an isosceles right triangle. Isosceles right triangle. It's a right triangle as well as isosceles. Isosceles means these two sides. Hypotenuse will be the longest side. No. Prove that AB square is equal to. Prove that AB square is equal to AC square plus BC. Sorry. 2 times AC square. So apply Pythagoras theorem. AB square on the hypotenuse is equal to AC square plus BC square, right? So AB square is equal to AC plus what is given? AC is equal to BC, no? Since it is a right isosceles triangle, therefore AC, what we have to prove? AC square, twice AC square. AC write down as it is BC. BC is nothing but AC. Since BC is equal to AC. So AB square is equal to 2 times AC square. Therefore, there is the problem. Next one. So we will continue in the next class because already 15 minutes passed. So thank you students. Have a nice day. Please don't forget to click on the blue color icon button and subscribe my channel and share these videos with your friends. They will also get some knowledge, and thank you students. Have a nice day. Bye.